Well, good morning. I feel like I was teaching preschool and have to say it's my turn to talk. Okay, thank you. Good morning. Ask any parent, any provider, or any business in just about any part of this country, and they will tell you we have a child care crisis in America. And that crisis could soon go from bad to worse as essential relief for the sector expires at the end of this month. So we are here today to sound the alarm and put forward a common sense solution. Before child care providers might have to close their doors, before kids lose their child care slots, and before parents face higher costs, or simply be forced to leave their jobs to take care of their kids. What's important to remember here is that our child care system has been on the brink of collapse for years, and COVID threatened to push it right over the edge. So President Joe Biden and Democrats took action. I fought tooth and nail alongside a number of my colleagues who are here today to deliver essential relief to keep the sectors afloat. And the relief we passed has now helped 220,000 child care providers keep their doors open and saved some 10 million child care slots. It has been a lifeline for our struggling child care system and the parents who depend on it. But if Congress now does not act, that lifeline will be cut off at the end of the month, and families and providers and our entire economy could suffer the consequences. You know, we invest in roads to make sure people can get to work. We have to invest in child care too. We need real reforms to end this crisis, not inaction that makes it worse. According to one group, going over the child care cliff could cost parents $9 billion in earnings and cost our nation over $10 billion in economic activity. And that is on top of the $100 billion plus it is already costing our economy. There's just no reason to let that happen. So today, we are introducing the Child Care Stabilization Act to extend the investments that are keeping our system afloat. Our bill will provide $16 billion in mandatory funding each year over the next 5 years for the Child Care Stabilization Grant Program that has proven so successful and so essential for keeping the system afloat and working parents the child care they need. And I'll say that again. Our bill is to keep the child care system afloat. We absolutely have to do a lot more to rebuild child care in America, like pass our Child Care for Working Families Act. But what we're talking about today is urgent legislation to keep the child care industry from crumbling. I want to thank my colleagues, Senator Sanders, Whip Clark, and Congresswoman DeLauro, and so many others for leading the charge on this. But here is the plain truth. We need our Republican colleagues to join us in this effort as well. Because when I say we need to act more urgently before things get worse, I don't just mean parents are going to feel the pain, or child care workers are going to feel the pain. I mean the entire U.S. economy is going to feel this. The child care industry holds up every sector of our economy. It sets our kids up for success. It allows mom and dad to get to a good paying job. It helps our small businesses hire employees, and it keeps our economy working. Ask any parent, ask any business owner, and they will tell you this is not a partisan issue. It is an urgent economic priority. And I'm determined to make sure Congress treats it like one. So I'll talk to anyone and everyone in Congress on both sides of the aisle about this bill, and I will keep fighting to make progress we can. And as I've said so many times, the child care crisis has to be a priority for Congress. And you can bet I have no plans of letting up, and I know the people behind me and so many others are not going to either. So with that, let me turn it over to my friend Senator Sanders, who is our Help Committee chair and has really stood firm right alongside me to keep this issue at the top.